What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring you that WNBA slate breakdown for depending on what slate you're playing. We have a 4-game slate. Then we also have a 2-game slate for the late games. Today, for whatever reason, I'm guessing it's probably one of the kid days again thing going on. But we have 2 early games, one at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is just crazy to me that this is at 11 o'clock. And then the other game is going to be at 3:30 in the afternoon. So the games are very, very spread out. This kind of reminds me of NBA Christmas Day games, how the games are super spread out throughout the day. And honestly, it can go any way throughout the day as you continue to go through the games and whatnot. But gonna do the best to give you guys some tips, some tricks, some knowledge and whatnot as we go through the slate and see if we can't make some money on today's crazy 4-game slate. As always, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I put out on the channel, and drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos help you guys win some money. With that being said, let's go. So first game, we got the Phoenix Mercury taking on Washington Mystics. Really no news over here for Washington. It's been the same. D.D. Richardson is game time says but expected to play, but Austin's going to be out. Sykes still going to be out. Carly is still going to be out. For the Phoenix Mercury, Sug Sutton is going to be out, but looks like DT, Copper, Cloud, Brittany Griner, like everyone's going to be good to go and play. Only person that's out is Shug. Over here, that really makes a difference for the Phoenix Mercury. For Seattle, taking on the Sparks. No news for Seattle. For the Sparks, Lexi Brown still out. Lee, she's still out as well. For the Connecticut Sun, no news really to report over there for them. Biggest news, biggest thing on the slate, and this is of course 7 p.m., which, you know, the later game, the later slate that you can actually get, which is still a pretty good prize pool for that, 10K to first in that as well. You got to know what's going on with New York, because Baby Sabally, questionable to play. Brianna Stewart, that's a big one, questionable to play. Thornton, questionable to play. We already got the news that Laney's going to be out, so this right here, you could say in a way, New York kind of shapes the slate in how you build on today's slate, because if Stewie's not going to be there, if Thornton's going to be out, then you already know they're going to be very short-handed on New York, and you're going to want to get some of these New York pieces, just like we did on the last slate where we had Kennedy Burke, Phoebich were really big plays. Jonquil Jones was a big play. Sabrina, even though she started out slow, she was still a good play. So we definitely really do need to know what's going on, even though it's going to be a tough matchup going up against Connecticut Sun, but it's one of those where it's kind of doesn't matter the matchup. They're going to have to play because they have a limited number of players that can give you some type of production. And then last but not least, we have the Chicago Sky taking on the Las Vegas Aces. No news over here to report for Chicago, even though Carter was pretty much benched for the majority of that game. Foul trouble and just not able to get her shot to fall. She's not dealing with any injuries, anything like that. I did see something about her back, but nothing. Nothing has been reported. And then, of course, Las Vegas Aces, they're all healthy, good to go, and everything of the sort. Head on over to DraftKings, the site that'll play the most on the site. If you guys don't got an account, you want one, make sure you guys check the link down in the description below so you guys can get that deposit match bonus and join me over here on DraftKings. As you can see, like I said, they have 2 contests for today. You got 10K to first, which is the big contest for the main slate already going on. Surprised that this is not filled yet. Really honestly surprised. And then, of course, you have the 10K to late, which is over there for the 2 games, which is just the New York and Connecticut, Las Vegas, and who's Las Vegas playing again? Las Vegas and Chicago. So those 2 games right there in that slate. I haven't entered into it yet. Still just on the fence, hoping maybe if I can get some news about New York. Not too sure if I want to actually go ahead and enter it. More than likely, I'm going to end up playing it and whatnot. But we're going to focus on the main slate, covering over everything, all of our options, going through every single game. So even though it is a pretty big slate and everything, I'm gonna cover everything, all your options and stuff that you can take. Hopefully this video will get out before that 11:30 a.m. game. I am recording this, as you can see, an hour before the slate lots. But it's going to be pretty quick for me, at least from the first game, looking at the Phoenix Mercury taking on the Washington Mystics. Honestly, for me, everyone is too priced up. Copper, 10-8, don't like it. Cloud, 10-5, I can have some interest there just because it's a revenge game for her. And we know last time that they played, she actually played very well, put up 35 plus fantasy points in that game. So it wasn't bad. Brittany Griner would be one of the ones that I'm on the fence with. 10K. I don't mind paying up for that for her, but kind of want to have Ezzy, NECA, Stevens, Hamby, all these other players on the slate. JJ. I'm kind of inclined not to play BG, and we have seen it time and time again. Centers going up against, honestly, forwards, bigs, whatever, going up against Washington. Washington has actually done very good at limiting their production, very good at limiting their upside. So very much on the fence in regards to if I want to even mess with Brittany Griner just because of the stuff that I'm seeing. It took Asia Wilson just going supernova, just super hot scorch mode in the second half of that game for the Aces for her to honestly grind out and get to her 50 plus fantasy points in that game. It took a lot. So Brittany Griner, even though she could be dominant, she could be a very dominant force. She has not played going up against them. She was not in that first game that they played. I'm just very much on the fence of whether or not if I want to even chance it, just because I know Brittany can go out here and just do nothing. She can go out here and get me. Let's see a really good example. Like going up against Connecticut Suns, play 33 minutes, only give me 26.5 fantasy points. That's exactly what she can go out here and get me when I have, some type of ceiling from some of these other players and games I can get to. All in all, honestly, really, there's no one that sticks out to me over here on the Phoenix Mercury side that I want to get to or play. They're just too priced up. It honestly is reflecting as if the players are still out from when they were dealing with all the injuries and stuff. So there's nothing really over here for me. Like I said, I would take a chance on Cloud just simply because of the revenge narrative and factor for her. She is finally playing back in Washington after leaving them. So that would be the only thing that really sticks out to me over there. Now on the other side, I do like Atkins here. Atkins at 8-9, that's a really good price tag. I wasn't too sure if last game, if there was like a narrative or something that I missed myself, because she was on fire from three. 6 of 9. She looked like she was right. She saw Rachel Banham popped off for 8 threes in the game prior. Said, bet, I got you. Went out there, 6 of 9 from three, 36 real life points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. She was just everywhere. She was killing it. It was honestly amazing. It was amazing. It hurt because I didn't have her in my lineup, but it was amazing to actually watch and just see. She single-handedly was keeping them in that game going up against the Aces. But 31 minutes going against Phoenix Mercury first time, 29.75 fantasy points. Don't hate, mind that at all whatsoever. Do like the upside for her. Outside of her, Big Mama Dolson, it's going to be a pretty tough task going up against Griner. Not surprised. Wouldn't be surprised if she actually gets herself in a foul trouble. 8,400. Not too much to pay for Big Mama, but I'm not really looking there. Misha Hines Allen, the minutes are too split between her and Aaliyah Edwards. Definitely, if you land there 7-9, she's not going to go get you a 0. Don't mind going there, but definitely think there's some other spots we can go to. SWK, too much for me to pay for that. Aaliyah Edwards, just the production has not really been there for her whenever she's out there on the court. 7,100. I like her to come down to that mid 6K range before I actually feel comfortable again. I will say the only other player that truly sticks out, two of them stick out to me over here, is Melbourne, just because the minutes have been there for her. She is seeing the minutes. Of course, 11 minutes in that game going against Las Vegas Aces. Her shot just did not fall. But prior to that, she was at least seeing roughly around 15 minutes and extended maybe up to 20, depending on how good she played. I do like this spot for her here going up against the Phoenix Mercury. They have been susceptible to opposing guards, especially guards that can actually shoot. A lot of the Washington Mystics shots do come from the 3-point range anyway. They are a heavy 3-point shooting team. I definitely don't mind coming out here for value, playing Melbourne. We do know she's going to be out there, get the minutes, get the run, things like that. And then if Dee is hampered or anything like that, we could see some more minutes for Melbourne, and the same thing for SWK. And then outside of that, Van Loo, her shot just has to fall. She has to just have that shot falling, because we know she can play make. She definitely can dish the rock, very fast, speedy, all those other things out there for us. Going up against the Phoenix Mercury earlier in the season when they played, 27 minutes, she dropped 30.25 fantasy points, 15 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. So I do love the upside for her here, especially the rebound and assist upside that she has. It's just that shot has to fall for her right there. 6,600, definitely can come down off of Atkins to get to her. Don't mind or hate that at all whatsoever. Going over to Seattle, Seattle taking on the Sparks. In this game, biggest thing that really sticks out to me is the fact that Skylar Diggins-Smith, she left the game, did not play in the second half of the last game that they played. She only played 14 minutes going up against Atlanta. Left. Apparently twisted her ankle, something, whatever. Didn't come back. Was in sweats, chilling on the sidelines. Now, maybe it was just like, hey, we really don't need you out here to beat this team. I don't know what it was, because I haven't seen anything. I've been looking. But apparently she's good to go to play today. She's been bumped up to 9K. Makes sense. Opposing guards going up against the Sparks. Easy day. Chop Curry. Go ahead, get it. I'm just a little bit... The spidey senses are tingling, because I would have expected a game time decision tag. Something probable. Anything. So just really interesting right there. I do like Skylar as a play because, again, opposing guards, they have cooked the Sparks all season. That's just going to continue here today. And of course, the one of the famous I don't know. It's just there's merit in taking Jewel Lloyd, because Lloyd can cook going up in this spot against the Sparks. 32 minutes, she dropped 35.5 fantasy points going up against them. It's just a lot of it comes from her scoring. I would have liked Lloyd more if Skylar was out today. That's probably like my biggest thing right there. But outside of that, really, the main benefactor, the main person that I actually wanted to go to was NECA anyway, because she is playing back in LA today. This is quote unquote revenge game, if you want to name it, but really I just think she's going to go out there and play her all, because she will be playing in front of the LA crowd, who pretty much helped raise groom since she's come into the league. 10-2, very deserving of a price. She has been playing pretty well over the last couple games. 31.5 fantasy points, 33. Well, correction, 41.5 fantasy points, 39.25 fantasy points in those last two games that she has had, and honestly have been on her for the last two games because she's been playing so well. 29 minutes going up against the Sparks earlier this season. She dropped 41.5 fantasy points. I would expect much of about the same for her here in this spot. I really, really do like the upside for NECA here in this position. Now, you definitely can come down, get to the cheaper Ezzy, 9-9. The block upside will be there for Ezzy. It should be a block party between her and Azara Stevens. Both of them could definitely go out there and block some shots. Easy day for either or, but I do like NECA. She really is the player I want to go to. Now, if you do think that Skylar's going to be hampered or anything of the sort, that is going to leave us room to want to mess with some of the guards, like Sammy Whitcomb. Sammy started the second half of the game when Skylar went out, dropped 28 fantasy points. I have a lot of interest in Sammy if we get anywhere that Skylar's on some type of limit or anything of the sort. Sammy's upside goes up tremendous. She will be the best value on the slate, but Skylar has to be out. Skylar has to be out. Or if you think the game blows out, because of course the Storm, they definitely can blow out the Sparks, but Sparks have been keeping games pretty close. They've been playing pretty well, especially with the insertion of Azura Stevens back into the lineup, and of course when Rakia Jackson go out there and ball, they have looked very, very, very good. Now over here on the other side for the Sparks, Hamby, Stevens, Ari, Rakia, all of them look really great. They honestly all look really great. Definitely some decent plays to get. I could have sworn that Talbot was out already. I could have sworn that Talbot was listed as out. So definitely want to get some clarification on that. Not too sure about that. But outside of that, really, I want to focus on Zora Stevens. Love the spot for her. 8,500. She's been playing tremendously. 4 steals, 3 blocks in that game going up against Dallas. 2 blocks, a steal going up against Minnesota. 1 block, 2 steals going up against the Phoenix Mercury. She's only played 3 games so far this season, and the minutes are trending up. Played almost the whole game going up against my Dallas Wings. Amazing production from her out there. 4 for 4 from 3. Of course, this was her former team. She was playing against her former team. I'll give her that. I'll give her that. We did have her on Dallas for a little while. But still, just the upside that she brings, that she gives us. And at 8,500, that's too cheap. That's too cheap for the upside and everything that she has. Love her here at 8,500. Definitely wouldn't mind running a NECA and Azora Stevens from this game. Or a Azora Stevens and a Jewel Lloyd, Azora Stevens, Skylar Diggins Smith. Those combos look really great and enticing to me to take. Hamby, don't mind going to her. I will say, I'm seeing some people posting about her rebounding prop. I know the matchup looks pretty good for Hamby, but I will say with Azara Stevens being back, her rebounding numbers have taken the dip if you look at it over the last 3 games. That's the only thing I got right there for that. Hamby, don't mind her, but 11-1, I'm not paying that price for her. I don't think the upside is there. I would much rather come down to Azara Stevens. I will say Rakia Jackson, I think this should be a tough matchup for her going up against Horson defense. Today, Horson is long. Horson is twitchy. She should be able to keep up with Rakia. As you can see, Rakia only played 16 minutes in that first game going up against Seattle. 4.25 fantasy points. I honestly think that she will struggle in this game today, and I'm not on her, especially at 7,800. I would much rather just find that salary that I need to, get up here and go ahead and play Azura right there at the not even too much of a price difference right there for me. Ari McDonald is Ari McDonald. Not really looking at her, but if you land there, I don't mind it. Definitely something worth taking a stab at, but not something that's like, yes, I have to play her. 27 minutes, she dropped 24 fantasy points going up against the Storm. Again, not really too enticing. All right, so now we're pretty much at the halfway point. Those were the first 2 early games, so we're going to be going into the second 2. This right here, I will put a timestamp down in the description below for you guys if you guys are looking for only the second half. This right here, I know this is kind of a little late for me to even go ahead and say that into the video, but anyway, timestamp, it'll be right here at this portion of the video. So looking over at the Connecticut Sun on this side, A.T. Bonner, Bree Jones, Carrington, Ty Harris, we all know what we're pretty much going to get from them. It's going to be main starters, play some minutes, as long as New York can keep it close. A.T. at 10-3, it's really honestly just, I don't know what to do with A.T. And I'm going to be very, very honest. It's just been a very roller coaster of a season from the triple double threat that she was, or that she is. I'm not getting it from her. She's not doing it. She is not doing it at all whatsoever. It's very frustrating what we've been getting from AT lately. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna fade at 10-3. I don't want to go there. I would rather much go ahead and play NECA. I would rather go ahead and get Azora Stevens. I'll even take a chance on Dolson, Griner, or in the late game Reese. Shoot, just go ahead and pay up the 13-3 for Asia. they all have better spots, better matchup, better everything for me than taking Alyssa Thomas right now. Dewana Bonner, 9-2. Definitely don't mind going here. If Bonner's hitting her shots, knocking them down, she definitely can put up a pretty big fantasy number. 40 minutes, 38.75 fantasy points. Of course, there is no Benijah Laney out here. Thornton might miss as well. So defense will be a little bit suspect for the New York Liberty coming into this game. Bonner might be able to go out here and have a pretty decent night. Bree Jones, I will say 35 minutes, 31.5 fantasy points. She plays pretty well going up against JJ whenever they are out there on the court. Early in the season, 34 minutes, 21 fantasy points. And then the last, could have sworn they played 3 times, but only 2. Still don't mind Bree. She's on a heater right now. Definitely has some upside right there for her. Carrington, she balled last game, 39.75 fantasy points, double-double, first double-double of her career. Well deserved. Snatched a hell of a lot of boards in that Phoenix Mercury game. Right there, 8,100. Definitely not gonna hurt you. I can see merit in coming down to her. You know, you don't want to play like the Ari McDonald's or something like that. She's not gonna get you 0. You know, she's gonna play hard. She's gonna play that defense on Sabrina. Definitely has an act for just getting her nose where it doesn't belong. But 23 minutes, only 13.75 fantasy points in that game going up against New York 2 games ago. And then 29 minutes, dropped 20.5 fantasy points. So definitely a seesaw on what we're going to get from Carrington here. I'm not going to chase the Banham game. I had Banham. Legit had Banham in my core that I played over there on DraftKings last slate that they were. I got the Banham game at that 32 fantasy points. I promise you. I even posted on Twitter for the fact of just having Banham and her going off for what she did and not being able to get a takedown was just crushing. And it was honestly my own mistakes. I played Caitlin Clark when I knew I shouldn't have, and then Alyssa Smith pretty much just getting benched in the second half. That really just ruined me. I knew I shouldn't have played Caitlin, but I had a Caitlin and A'ja Wilson lineup, and I was like, this just looks too good to be true. And if it goes to the moon, it goes to the moon. But there was definitely some pivots that I should have made, and it cost me. But you live and you learn. But I'm not going to chase that Banham game. We know that she pops for these random games throughout the season. This just so happened to be it right there. The stars just aligned perfectly for her, especially with Tiffany Mitchell, with the probability of her not even being 100% or fully good to go. That's really what had got me there to playing Manham. But really not too much to like over there for Connecticut Sun. Again, like I said, depending on what goes on over here, I will have Sabrina, JJ, Phoebich, Burke. All those players will be definitely in play. I'm not going to mess with Vandersloot at all whatsoever. That's just not even worth it. Docic off the bench definitely will be in play as well because she's going to have to play a lot more minutes. As you can see, 18 minutes in the last game going up against Chicago Sky. Definitely going to be pretty much the same thing again here, especially if they are missing Thornton, if they're missing Baby Sabley. Of course, Layton's already out, and if Stewie just sits for rest as well. You're going to have to play quite a bit of your bench players, definitely some decent minutes. But Phoebich, I definitely do like her 7,300. Sabrina, of course, love her here as well. She's going to be chucking a ton of shots. She's going to have to, regardless. JJ, of course, love the upside of her at 10-6. I would much rather play JJ than going and playing Alyssa Thomas in the spot. There's just no point at all whatsoever. Going over for the Chicago Sky, of course, last but not least, I'm not paying that much for Angel Reese. I just honestly think that's way too much in my eyes to pay for Angel. 11-4. Last time going up against the Aces, 31 minutes, she dropped 34.75 fantasy points. Not bad at all. Other than that, I just don't see myself getting up that high to play Reese today. I do want to go back to Kenny Carter at 9-5. When she played going up against the Aces, 34 minutes, she dropped 38.25 fantasy points. I just really feel like this was tired legs. She's just tired. They have been playing quite a bit of games over the last couple of days, but definitely has had 3 days off, so definitely some good rest to come into here, coming into this next game. So I do think the upside should be there for her in the spot. She popped off the last time. I know that this game left a sour taste in her mouth. 7 points, just shots everywhere, just nothing. But when you're going up against the Las Vegas Aces team, who pretty much just tries to beat you to 90 points, fast-paced game, this is everything in Carter's wheelhouse. And 9,500, kind of already do like her as a core play. Cardosa, she has the matchup kind of going up against Stokes, but Stokes' minutes have been going down. It's one thing I've noticed. 30 minutes, she dropped 21.5 fantasy points going up against the Aces last time. If they don't run her off the court, not a bad spot, not a bad play for her. Lindsay Allen, I'll take that 6-100. Don't mind that at all for her. That's definitely a spot you can go to. Now, A'ja Wilson, 13-3. I have just made it a point to just find a way to just play A'ja every single slate. She is literally a walking 50 bucket, a walking 50 plus fantasy points. She is. Don't mind going to her here in the spot. Last time going up against the Chicago Sky, 34 minutes, dropped 50 fantasy points exactly, 31 points in that game. They honestly have nothing that can hold her. Not going to be able to double her. You're not going to be able to do anything. She is literally the MVP for a freaking reason this season. The upside is just there for A'ja whatsoever. Now, I will say, if you want to fade A'ja, I don't mind coming and just playing Jackie Young. I do like her. The upside here, 9,800, definitely well worth it. I know she let down in that last game, but again, just like Carter, this is a bounce back spot. This is a bounce back. I'm going to go out here and do what I got to do. 35 minutes, drop 33.25 fantasy points. The scoring upside, all that will be there for Jackie. I do like her here at that price tag. If you don't want to play with Jackie, you definitely can come down here and go with Kelsey Plum, 8,700. Played very well in that last game, 22.28.75 fantasy points. Definitely room for more from her. But we'll take what we got from her, definitely for sure. I do like the upside. And then Chelsea Gray, not playing that. I just feel like she's coasting until she gets to the break. Clark, Hayes, if you land there, I don't mind going to either one, but not anything that sticks out that you have to go ahead and play. All right, guys. Literally, by the time this gets up, there will be an hour before the first game locks. Hopefully, you guys are able to get some information from this video. Like I always say, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any content. Check the link down in the description below so you guys can go ahead and check out the Patreon. $5. Promise you guys get everything that you're looking for, everything that you need or want. Good luck to everybody. Everyone that's in the Queen of the Court. Good luck to all you guys. Happy birthday to my boy Cody. Take down that Queen of the Court, bro. Good luck, everybody. Peace.